It's another beautiful Saturday. It's sunny here in the city of Manchester, Southall City, precisely. And we do on Family Room, it will talk about parenting, we talk about children, and of course we talk about family life. And I'm your host, Feyikemi Show. And throughout this month, the remaining part of this month, we're going to be talking about teenagers. We're going to be talking about their lives. I'm going to have a lot of teenagers joining me on this show. Tonight is a little different, like I said. So, usually adults spend a lot of time talking about teenagers. We, the adults, we talk about them, we gist about them, we discuss their behaviors, we discuss their friendships, we discuss their phones, we discuss their attitudes. But how often do we pause and ask our teenagers how they actually feel? Tonight we are turning the microphones over to them, and joining me tonight to discuss this topic, before we go on a quick music break, joining me tonight is Esther and
Sarah.
All right, so thank you, Esther and Sarah, for coming to join me. One, and the topic today is just about what teenagers wish adults knew, what they wish we know, because sometimes we don't know and we think we know it. So if we can only read their mind, talking today about our teenagers, if parents could actually read their minds, what teenagers wish every adult knew. And of course, to discuss about this today, I've got Esther.
Hi.
I've got Sarah.
Hi, everyone.
All right, so two amazing teenagers, my beautiful girls. All right, so teenagers, teenage years are actually very exciting, but they can also be confusing. Is it actually confusing, Esther?
Yeah.
All right. So young people are actually discovering. This is a time that young people discover themselves and who they are while balancing school. They're trying to balance their friendships. They're trying to balance social media. They're trying to balance family expectations. Yeah, for us parents, we know there are a lot of family expectations we give to them at this time of their year. So, and also the pressure to fit in everything that they do. Perhaps instead of assuming we know what they are thinking, because some of us parents, we assume we know what our teenagers are thinking. We should simply ask them. We should simply ask them. I'm delighted to welcome again these two wonderful young guests of mine. And ladies, you're welcome once again. So, Esther, let me paint, because I said I'm going to be doing a lot of scenarios. So I'm going to paint this scenario and I'm going to ask you a question. So imagine a teenager comes home from school. Mm-hmm. They walk straight to their room, mm-hmm. and a parent immediately says, "What's wrong with you?" Does that
Yeah, it does.
So the teenager replies, "Nothing. I know it's something that you can say."
Yeah.
But deep down, they've had a difficult day, maybe a disagreement with a friend. Like sometimes I will ask Sarah, "Did you disagree with anyone? Did something happen? A disappointing test result? Mm-hmm. Can you relate?" Or you are simply overwhelmed. I know sometimes Sarah is overwhelmed. So Esther, adults sometimes misunderstand teenagers, and if yes or no, what do you think parents understood better? What do you think? What do you wish parents understood better?
I wish parents understood that sometimes, like, teenagers are not trying to be rude to their parents because they feel that the parents might not quite understand what they're feeling. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's still a good thing for teenagers to open up to their parents, because there's some parents who actually care and they can actually feel what their teenagers can feel, and they can give them advice on how to maneuver the situation or how to help them feel better about the situation. Yeah.
Interesting. So you've heard it, teenagers, don't feel we don't know. Don't just lock up and feel we don't know. Try to talk to us, in as much as we try to talk to you back. I know the parents that have joined us, they know about these things. Sarah, let me paint a scenario for you. Imagine a young teenager trying to explain something important. That question. I know you can relate to that kind of question. But before they finish speaking, I know you just say, Mom, can I finish? Speaking, an adult interrupts and says, you're too young to understand. Or how does it make young people feel when they think their opinions aren't taken seriously? How do you feel?
I think it can make them feel disappointed and like ignored, because I think it can make them feel disappointed and ignored because like they think despite their age, they think they should be heard like by their parents, and I think that parents should understand that even like they might understand more than the children, but they should still listen to them and like give their opinions and stuff, but still like listen to what they say. And yeah.
Okay. All right. So listen to them. Listen to your children. Listen to the opinion. Children too should also listen to the opinion of their parents. But parents should be like active listeners.
Yeah.
Wait for them to speak their mind, and then you can talk. Don't just shut them down when they are speaking. Another scenario for you, Esther. Many parents says, I provide everything my child needs, but teenagers often say, I just wanted my mom or dad to spend time with me. Esther, what do teenagers value more, gift or quality time?
I think some kids, it depends on what your opinion is, because my opinion is that quality time is better than, your parents just buying you stuff, because some kids are like very spoiled, but they don't have quality time with their parents, so their parents don't have time to look after them or like listen to their opinions on matters, or like help them in situations that like they probably need help with, and their parents are not just there to help them, and they get help from other people outside, and then when they grow up, like when they're older, they thank the people who are like not their parents, and it like the parents feel bad in the end because they don't spend a lot of time with their kids.
Okay, so when something later happened in future, the parents get to feel bad that they were never active in the children. So you've heard, wherever you are in USA, in Canada, if you're listening to us or watching us live from UK, you don't need to, or you're watching from Africa, you're there in Nigeria or any part of Africa, you're listening to us, spending quality time with your children is more important than all the gifts in this world. And that reminds us that love isn't only measured by what we buy. Sometimes it's measured by how well we listen. We have to listen. We just have to be in the face of our children. We just have to keep talking to our children, being there for them. Sometimes your kind of work, you might not really be home sometimes. If it's during your break time, do you take time to call them, to sing to them, to talk to them, to remind them of something? Even if you travel to work sometimes, it could be for a month. That does not mean you can't do maybe a night hangout on Zoom with them, or even on WhatsApp video call or something. Do something with your children. It's very important that we should spend quality time with our children. If you want to advertise on Radio Africana, I'm your best plug. Just call us and tell us you want to advertise on Radio Africana. Whether you have a small business or you have a brand manager that wants to plug in to Radio Africana in the United Kingdom, because we talk global, we go global, and we speak to the global audience. So it's not just Africans. So we've been talking about, I have Sarah and Esther are still with me in the studio. We've been talking about if parents could read our minds, what teenagers wish adults knew. A lot of us adults, we don't know what is in their mind. Sometimes we think we do know. And we've been painting some scenarios. Now we're going deeper into friends. We are going to be talking about pressures and growing up. So I'm going to still paint some scenarios. Let me go to Esther now. Imagine this. Everyone in school is talking about a new trend. Everyone seems to have the latest trainers, phone or fashion, and now in summer, some people are traveling for summer. One teenager feels left out and begins to think they aren't good enough. Esther, how much pressure do teenagers face trying to fit in? How much pressure do they fit in? And what would be your advice also to parents and the teenagers feeling pressure? How much pressure?
Teenagers feel a lot of pressure trying to fit in because they feel like, my friend has this and I don't have this, so that means that I'm not going to be able to hang out with my friends, or like they feel intimidated by what their friends have. But I think teenagers need to understand that they need to understand that their parents can, if their parents cannot afford what they're pressured into getting, that they should understand that their parents could get it for them like any other time, or if they have like the money that they can use to get it for them. And parents should also make their children understand that they are good enough whether they don't have any of those stuff. And my advice to teenagers is that if your friends are telling you and they're pressuring you, just tell them that I'm good enough because I know, like, I'm content with what I have. And they should also like consider, like, are these friends actually my friends that I can trust, and I could tell them anything that's happening in my life and stuff like that. Because in my opinion, I used to not have social media and my friends did not make me feel bad about it. So it's good to have a circle of friends who understand you and like understand where your parents are coming from, and they don't make you feel bad about it.
They don't put you under pressure. That's a very nice one, Esther. And to all parents and to all teenagers, watching us or listening to us live on Radio Africana, this is actually a nice point, a very good, valid point, that have circle of friends around you that will not put you under pressure. So, encouragement sometimes achieves more than criticism. So if you're a teenager and you're watching us live on Facebook or teenager, do not put your friends under unnecessary pressures. If their parent says they can't have something, don't pressurize them. Don't say, no, your parent don't love you or something, like there'll be a time. There's a time for everything. And when that time comes, believe you me, your parents will not deprive you from going after. If your parents don't want you to be on a particular social media, it's for your good. And of course, parents, when that time comes, you can guide your children, guide them aright, let them make the most of their time on earth. Don't just say, let them explore, let them know everything that they need to know. But of course, you have to be that guiding angel. So now, Sarah, parents will often, friendships, let's talk about friendships. Sarah's friendships can be wonderful, but they can also be painful.
Yeah.
Have you had painful friends?
Yeah.
Sometimes friends stop talking to each other, overnight. Like I've realized one day I asked you about one of your friends, what's happening? You've not been talking, and you said, no, we're talking, we're fine, we're good, and all that. Sometimes young people also experience bullying or exclusion, not just from general schoolmates, even from their own close inner circle of friends. What makes a good friend? So, and what advice would you give someone struggling with friendship? What makes a good friend?
I think a good friend is someone who respects you, listens to you, and stays by your side even when things go wrong. And like, because they know you're not perfect, because no human is perfect. So even when things are not perfect, they still stay by your side and stick with you. And they don't make you feel like you need to change to fit into a friend group or social friend group or anything. And for the advice part, I think if you're struggling with friendships, don't blame yourself for not being able to fit into a particular like circle or anything, because sometimes people grow apart and it's okay. Like, it's okay to not be friends with someone, but don't like force yourself into a friendship that is gonna cause chaos or anything. And focus on finding friends that will accept you and value you like for who you are. And don't be afraid to talk to someone if you need help. Talk to people you trust about things, especially your parents, because they will understand.
All right. So thank you so much. Talk to your parents. Talk to people who trust. Esther, let me paint this scenario. Parents often worry about school results, but I'm not worried about GCSE result right now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's you that you're worrying about your GCSE result, and I keep saying don't worry about GCSE result. But often some parents, they worry about school results. And teenagers worry too. So imagine revising for weeks. You've done GCSE, revising for weeks, week in, week out, daily. You're always on online lessons and all that, and still not getting the grade. I'm not saying you're not going to get it, but imagine a teenager now not getting the grade they hope for. You've got a lot of your friends if they don't get it. So how can parents encourage teenagers during disappointing moment instead of making them feel worse?
One advice I'll give to parents is that you can say to your child that their grade doesn't define who they are, and just because they don't get the grade that they want to get doesn't mean that they're not smart enough or they're not good enough. It's probably because maybe they struggle with this subject, and they should check areas. Parents should check areas on where their child struggles with. For instance, my mom checks, she knows that I struggle with maths, so she got me a maths tutor who has been tutoring me. So hopefully my grades will get better. So my advice to parents is that you should check subjects or areas that your children are lacking in, and try to help them to get the grades that they want to. And for teenagers, always speak to your parents about anything that's happening, for instance in school. If you don't understand, I don't understand this teacher's method, go to your parents and tell them, and they'll probably give you the best advice to get the grades that you want to get.
All right. Thank you. You want to say something about that? Thank you for the art on TikTok. Thank you so much. No matter how busy we are as parents, our children should just trust us that we are the good to go. They can always come to us. So parents, open your hearts to your children. Look out for their grades. I'll be able to be a supportive system to them. Not that you get their result and just shove it and that is all. No, look at what as parents. I remember when my daughter wanted to do GCSE, so we looked at, this one is not right here. This one should be here. This one should be better here. This one can even be better. And we were able to give that support. So no matter how busy you are as parent, go for the time they call you for parents' evening. Don't just go around the teachers and take all the results. Get back in and ask your children and help them out. No matter how if you go right, you go to your 9 to 5, you go for another job again. If you are in the USA, you are in Canada, you are in other parts of the world aside Africa that is 247, and you do 2 jobs together, you're not doing well if you don't go back to check what your children, what they are really doing in school, and talk to them. You need to actually talk to your teenagers. You need to actually talk to your children and ask them, where do you need me to help you? If you make all the monies and you just keep it in your pockets, or you're sending it back home for someone to build you a mansion, and you're not helping your children, to help them to be in a supportive system to them to see, where do you need help? Do I need to get more lessons for you? Do I need to get more books for you? Then you're just building mansion that somebody else's will use, because it will not be useful in the end. So encouragement, sometimes achieves more, like I said, than criticisms. Parents, encourage your children, and of course children, like Esther said, please always talk to your parent. If you know you have an issue in a particular subject. I remember I had a particular issue when I was going to graduate from the university, my first degree. I had to talk to my dad in the end. I spoke to my uncle. My uncle said, see, you just need to talk to your dad. He will listen about this particular one. My dad is someone that listens, but that particular one, I was afraid to talk to him. And when I spoke to my dad about that issue that I was facing with a particular lecturer for about 4 years in the university, my dad went to the university and went to do what he's supposed to do, had a meeting with the school and all that, and that was the end. So I trusted him. I spoke to an uncle. So children, trust your parents. Talk to them. Sometimes it's either yes or no, but no parent will tell you no when they are meant to tell you yes. they love you. So now we're going to that interesting part of the show. That's the family games segment. So take the first question now.
Yeah. So the first question is that what do teenagers wish the parents will stop saying?
So if you're a parent and you're listening, maybe you want to answer this question because I have to answer. What do teenagers wish parents would stop saying? I want to what do teenagers wish parents would stop saying? Then they will tell me what I'm trying to say. What do teenagers wish parents would stop saying? Oh, do I have a clue? Honestly, I don't know their mind, but I know if they say something. Do you want to go?
Let Sarah go first.
I don't think it's not exactly like something you'd say, but I mean, it's basically comparing them to other children. Yeah, that really it's so tired.
It hurts.
Yeah, it hurts, and they don't like parents don't understand that it hurts. But sometimes teenagers need to understand that parents don't actually mean it like that. They just want to give an example like what you should do, right? Especially if you're showing a bit of disrespect but you don't mean it as well. Just try to be respectful, and parents try not to compare them to other children because it can hurt their feelings.
All right, so Sarah is saying do not compare your child with other children. So that to the children that are listening or watching, that the parents don't really mean it in a hurtful way to hurt you. They just want to understand that, oh, if that person, is that how your friends behave in their house? I've been to their house before, and you know, not just African mother, is that how your friend behaves? They don't do like that in their home. I've seen your friends with their mom. They said, stop it. That is what's in their mind. They wish you know they don't like it. So they wish you know they don't like it. So parents, stop it. Esther?
Like parents thinking that that just because like when you come back from school and you're tired, that the parents think that their tiredness is not compared to your tiredness, because you don't know what child has actually gone through in school, and like you just think that, oh yeah, your child is just being like rude to you or being like just not talking to you or answering you just because like they're tired and stuff like that. So,
okay, yeah. So if you lose, so what Esther also is saying now, I'm saying that the children too can be overwhelmed, so they can be very seriously tired, more than you adults. So that's what she's just trying to say, because we just go through one work routine from morning till evening. It's the same thing, but you know, they have to see different people, different children and their different mentality, different attitude and all that. Some things would have happened in school, and sometimes they have to go through different teachers in school. So that's what they're just trying to say. So if we can also feel in their mind. Next question.
The next question is, what family activity do teenagers secretly enjoy the most?
What family activity do teenagers secretly enjoy the most? I would say every teenager will actually love movies. They will actually love ice cream and popcorn, and those that are not fan of ice cream, of popcorn because it's made of maize, they might just like some snacks, you know, they might just prefer some snacks and all that. So some biscuits and all that. So I just believe that is what they will know. So okay. They enjoy. You said
yes, they do enjoy like watching movies, like, because I enjoy
all kind of movies.
Yes, and just sat there having a conversation, a normal conversation, like they're speaking to their friends, talking about their day and just enjoying it. And sometimes we might act like we don't enjoy it, but we honestly do deep down.
Okay, so you mean having deep and honest conversation, just talking generally about your day, how it was. So parents, try as much as possible to create that time where you have that deep conversation. For myself and my girls, it's called the bonding time, where we sit down and then we just talk generally about things. You know, you don't really need to have a particular time. You can just have that time. Maybe they're coming in if you work from home and you're just creating that time immediately. So before you go into the kitchen, if you're a woman to cook, or a man if you cook as well, or if you do other things, just take that time. Esther?
So I think that what I enjoy the most is just sitting down and having a conversation with my mom, even if it's outside the house or inside the house, just having a conversation with her. Sometimes we'll just be watching YouTube shorts and laughing. Like that's the best times I have with my parents.
Okay, so next question.
Okay, the next question says, if teenagers could change one house rule, what would it be?
I don't know.
One house rule. Stop. I don't want to wash dishes. Dishes. That's one of the house rules. Must clean the kitchen.
Yeah.
Most teenagers don't want to do dishes and clean the kitchen, tidy up the kitchen and all that. They just want parents to do it sometimes. Am I correct?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
what's in your mind?
teenagers need to understand that their parents can't do all of it. Like you need to support as well. Like speak to your parents about it. Speak to them about how the chores are arranged. Like for example, we have a timetable, so it's not exactly the same person does it every day. We alternate and stuff. So I think and also a bit more freedom. I'm not saying like don't give them freedom, and if your parents say you can't have this, you can't have that, you need to understand where they're coming from, because they obviously have your best interest in heart, but also just a bit of freedom, like have conversations about it, like
the house rules.
And then that just
about the house rules, about making your bed when you wake up and you see mommy going like, no, when you wake up it's immediately you make your bed. Esther, what do you have to say? What is that house rule that because I've answered for you. I've said something about kitchen and all that. I know you like to do things in you like kitchen cleaning up and all that, so sometimes can be annoying when you now see the big pots and all that. So
we have this rule that you can't watch TV on weekdays, but I genuinely think
you're a big boy, you're a big girl.
but I genuinely
but
think
you're so used to it now.
So I genuinely think maybe like after revision or homework, you can still like maybe watch a movie or two, or even if your parents just allow you to just watch one movie like before you go to bed. I mean, it could go a long way in making your day, because at least you have something that you watched and you were like happy about.
But not late into the night though, because if it's late into the night, the child will not, even if he's a teenager, will not have adequate sleep. You know, it's just like you've done your house chores and by 8 o'clock you just want to do one movie till about 10 p.m. That's what you're saying. That's what you mean. But not late till past 10 o'clock and all that, because everyone deserves good sleep. It's always good to have, like 8 hours sleep and all that, because even as teenagers, you go to college and all that, you're still going to school, you still have to wake up very early. So teenagers, don't take it hard on us. We're going to and also I want to say to the parent that you should allow meaningful conversation. Leave the door open for meaningful conversation, so it's not every time that you have to fight with your children and all that. Leave room for that. On in this today's topic, so we want to talk about if I could tell parent one thing. So what is one thing? Esther, imagine every parent in the world is listening to you for 1 minute without interrupting. So imagine. So what would you want them to hear?
Okay. I just want them to hear that we actually love and appreciate them, even though sometimes we don't sound like it or we don't act like it. We actually do love and appreciate them, and also that they should also take our opinions into consideration, because some parents just go based on their own opinions and be like, oh, this is good for my child, but you don't know, maybe your child is coming from somewhere where they think that, oh yeah, this will look nice or this will look good on me, and the parents is like, oh no, I don't want to buy this for you because I don't think it will look nice on you. So
okay, so parent, pause and listen to them. They love and they appreciate. So she's talking for all teenagers in the world. Your teenagers love and they appreciate you. Don't feel because when they are teenagers, they are rigid, they don't want to say anything, they're not even saying thank you. They actually do love you. Every parent, your teenagers love you. So Sarah, if you could change one thing about relationship between parents and teenagers, what will it be?
I think I'd want them to be more listening and understanding from both sides. So sometimes teenagers just want their parents to hear them out before jumping into conclusions about different situations or give them advice instead of jumping into conclusion and like making like opinions and stuff, but without properly hearing them. So I think if the parents and teenagers communicated more, there'll be less arguments and there'll be more trust.
That's deep. So let's look at when many teenagers says they don't always need parents to solve every problem. Because teenagers feels that no, I know it all, I can do things by myself, but sometimes they just need someone to listen to. So that does not necessarily mean teenagers don't want their parents to solve their problems. So would you agree that many teenagers don't need parents to solve every problem?
I don't think I would agree, because there's some problems that your friends can actually tell you about, and there's some problems that your parents can actually advise you on. If it's stuff like, if you're getting bullied in school or getting peer pressured, your parents have more insight into that because they've actually gone through those stages, and they can actually help you in like maneuvering those situations, and like standing up to friends who don't value you and who treat you badly, or anything like that. That's what I think.
Okay, so how about you, Sarah?
I don't entirely agree, because your parents, they know more than you, but also have a conversation with them so they understand. But like, I don't entirely agree, because sometimes we know our right from our wrong, but sometimes we just still need our parents while we're still young, because we can do stuff that we're not meant to be doing, and our parents need to advise us on it. So
you don't agree means you don't agree that parents can actually solve problems. Is that what you're saying? They can solve problems. And on the other side, Esther is saying there are some problems that friends can also solve. So now let's finish on this positive note. What's one thing your parents do that makes you feel truly loved? Your parents, your dad, your mom. What makes you feel really loved?
So I think I feel truly loved by my parents when they spend time with me and really listen to me, and like it shows me that they care about me, because in some situations that happen at school when I'm upset and I text my mom and I tell her what's going on at school, and she's there to comfort me and like tell me, oh, I get why you're sad, I understand. So I feel like good because I know that she understands me and I have someone to talk to.
Okay, Esther?
For me is when my mom comforts me like by giving me a hug, or like sometimes she just calls me like after work and like asks me where I am, just to like make sure that I'm coming home, and that just makes me feel loved, because someone cares about me and they're actually looking out for me. And like just if I'm having a bad day or if there's just too much work for me to do, she just tells me, and she just appreciates me for doing all the work for her. Yeah.
Okay, so it's been an amazing one today. We're still going to have more. We're going to talk more next week. We're going to talk more about teenagers, like I said, throughout the month of July and some part of August. So we're going to have them in numbers coming into the studio. Thank you to everyone that have joined us on TikTok and on also on Facebook. We are not on Instagram. I'm used to saying Instagram. It's been nice having you. And those people that have listened live on Radio Africana, thank you. So parents don't have to be perfect. Teenagers don't have to be perfect either. The goal is actually understanding one another. Parents should understand their teenagers, while teenagers should also understand their parents. So as we've come to the end of tonight's program, we've heard something very important from the teenagers here about parenting. We've heard about how they feel. We've heard about how they want to be understood. And teenagers are not asking parents to know everything. We don't need to know everything. They are asking to be heard. So parents that are watching us live on TikTok and also on Facebook, they just said, please listen to me, trust me. They said, guide me. They said, love me. They said, understand me. So that's all these teenagers are saying to the parents, the dads that helps, with lot of amazing things in the house, sing for them, cook for them, play with them and all that. I believe my children can relate. You understand? So so we say thank you to all the parents. We say thank you to all the amazing teenagers. Let's be good to our parents. Let's be good to our teenagers as well. So, and I would like each of you to complete this sentence. I know my parents love me because...
I know my parents love me because they're always there for me. Even when I make mistakes, they still forgive me. And even when I've done stuff wrong, they encourage me, support me, and want the best for me. And that makes me feel safe and loved.
All right. So,
I love my parents because they listen to my needs and all my wants. And even though they can't provide for me, they still find a way to do it. And and I still appreciate them at the end.
All right, thank you so much. It's been a wonderful conversation with Sarah and Esther. Esther, tonight perhaps one parent will ask an extra question before jumping into that conclusion. Perhaps one teenager will choose to open up instead of staying silent. Those small moments, can change a family. My sincere thanks to Esther and Sarah for joining us, sharing honesty, wisdom, and experiences with us this evening. And my amazing producer and Radio Africana, from all of us, is keep building strong families, keep listening with love, and remember, sometimes the greatest gifts we can give one another is simply to understand. Good night on TikTok and good night on Facebook. We'll be right back next week again, same time. Thank you for listening and joining us live. Bye.
Bye. Bye.